It's the battle of the internet giants, with Apple calling out Facebook over consumer privacy. Without mentioning Facebook by name, Apple CEO Tim Cook threw down the gauntlet at a data privacy conference last month.
Technology does not need vast troves of personal data stitched together across dozens of websites and apps in order to succeed.
But that's exactly how Facebook does succeed, by scooping up vast amounts of data about its 2.8 billion active users in order to allow other companies to bombard them with advertisements, supposedly tailored to their specific interests. Facebook gets almost all of its revenue through ads. If you're like me and just about everybody else, you probably haven't printed out Facebook's terms of service and studied them. But experts say what you might find in these pages could surprise you.
Facebook is probably keeping track of what you're doing when you're not on Facebook and when you're not even logged into Facebook. Facebook is able to get data on what you're up to when you're using all kinds of apps, when you're browsing on websites that have no official connection to Facebook. I think that would surprise a lot of people.
Apple plans a major privacy change in the coming months.
We are deploying powerful new requirements to advance user privacy throughout the App Store ecosystem.
Instead of poking around in your phone's settings to opt out of data sharing, Apple will now require apps to give users a plain choice.
When they open an app, the app is forced to prompt them to say, hey, do you want to let us track you or not? And that's expected to make a big difference because most people don't actually want their behavior to be tracked and shared between various apps and websites.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says Apple doesn't really care about privacy, it cares about profits. Apple has every incentive to use their dominant platform position to interfere with how our apps and other apps work, Zuckerberg told investors in January. Apple may say they're doing this to help people, but the moves clearly track their competitive interests, he said. The App Store's new opt-in feature could cut into Facebook's revenue by 10%, experts say. That revenue was nearly $86 billion last year. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.